Hi everyone, somehow it is the end of March. I can't actually believe how quickly this month has gone, and I feel like I say that every month. But March for some reason has gone super fast. There's been a lot going on in our lives, which has probably got something to do about it. Hopefully all will become apparent soon. I hate being this cryptic, but I don't want to jinx anything, basically. So I'm actually filming this on Good Friday, so it's now the long Easter weekend. I have just finished 4 days at work, which I have not done in a while, actually, not since I was working full-time before I had my little boy. So it was a breeze, actually. It was so easy, which I expected it would be. I thought I might be a bit more tired, but actually I was fine. I think once I get into the swing of things, it's actually all good. From a practical point of view, we had to be super organised. I literally knew what we were eating every single day, which is no bad thing. It's good to be organised. But yeah, it's gone really quickly this month. So I haven't actually been testing out lots of new stuff as such. I don't have a ton of stuff to go through, but I have got some products that I really have been meaning to use for a while and just see what I think of them. So that is very much going to be the theme of today's best and worst of beauty. So the first product I want to talk about is this one here from Cantu. This is the Coconut Oil Shine and Hold Mist, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that I've done extremely well to get so far through a hair product. I did actually have to decant some of this because, oh wow, is this product, I don't know, it just does not work to come out of a spray bottle. I assumed that it was maybe just this particular spray bottle that it wasn't working with, because basically you don't kind of get a mist of product like it would suggest. You kind of get a jet stream of product kind of planted in particular areas on your hair, which is not ideal because you want to be able to distribute it. So I decanted some into a bottle that I know delivered a beautiful mist, just to see if it made any difference, and it did not make any difference at all. So it must be the product itself, which is really frustrating. In terms of what it's saying it's going to do, it says it's lasting moisture and shine, and it rehydrates and smooths. Now, for the most part, I suppose I would agree with a lot of that. It does give the hair a really nice shine. Incidentally, this is not what I've got in my hair today. I've used this a lot this month, but I've got to the point with it where I'm just not loving it, I'm afraid, and I've got too many other hair products that I just want to get to using. So it does give nice shine, I would agree with that. The hold isn't fabulous, and this is the main area that I'm having an issue with my hair, is freshly dried, it looks amazing, I'm really happy, and then literally as the day goes on, my hair just kind of gets fluffier and frizzier, and I just can't seem to sort that out. It's really irritating. So I was kind of hoping that this product might be able to help me, but unfortunately it didn't. So it does make my hair look nice initially, but it's just not giving me the kind of definition and hold that I'm wanting from a product like this. So it was nice to try, and it smells gorgeous. And the days that I use this, I could guarantee that every single day at least one person would say to me, what's that lovely smell? Or when I dropped my son to preschool, it was not last week, the week before, I'd not even used this. I think I must have had like residual product on my clothes or something, and one of the preschool workers was like, I can smell coconut, and I was like, that's probably me actually. And she came over and she kind of sniffed around me and she was like, yes, it's definitely you. So if really strong smelling coconut products are your thing, then you'll probably really like this because it's very tropically smelling. However, if you suffer with the same problem that I do with your hair actually holding its style for the day and not going frizzy and fluffy and all that kind of stuff, then I would probably give this a miss, because I'm just really not sure what its purpose in the world is, because I was hoping for hold and it just did not do that for me, unfortunately. Next up, I have got another disappointing product, unfortunately, and it is this palette from Stila. And I'm particularly sad about this for a couple of reasons. The main reason is the fact that I had to hunt this down when I first bought it. So shame on me for actually not using it until recently, because I've had this for quite some time. I'm not even sure if you can buy this palette anymore. This is the Stila In the Light palette, which I know at the time of it coming out, which I'm not even sure I want to think about how long ago that was, it was quite the trendy beauty blogger product to talk about. And I can see why. It's very appealing in terms of the shade selection. You get a smudge stick in here as well, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with Stila smudge sticks, but they are amazing eyeliners. They are creamy, they give you a little bit of time to blur the lines if you want to. Of course, you can leave it fairly crisp as well. And then once it sets, it really locks into place. So the actual eyeliner I really like. But just talking about the palette itself, the colours are really nice, and this did go into the sale when I picked it up. It went out of stock very quickly, and then it came back into stock, and I was really happy, and I picked it up. And then basically, I didn't end up really using it. I used it a little bit, and then I kind of moved on to other things. And when I started doing my kind of makeup collection videos, I started to rediscover stuff that when I bought, I was really excited to get it. So I said to myself, right, I need to use this every single day for a good few weeks just to see what I make of it. And that's exactly what I did. I've used this every single day for probably about 2 or 3 weeks. So I feel like I know it really well. I've created quite a few different combinations of looks, although I am a little bit frustrated by the fact that this colour here, which on camera always comes out looking quite pale. I mean, you can see the fact that it is quite yellowy, but in real life it's a lot more yellowy than it actually looks. So I think it is missing a couple of shades just to help create the looks that I personally like to create. And I talked about the shades that I felt were missing in my most recent Get Ready With Me when I used this palette. I have also used this palette on my eyes today, and I did just use this palette. I didn't use anything else, and I just don't like it. I'm gutted. Part of me is wondering if it's because I have had it for quite a while. I noticed on the back that it does have a 12-month shelf life, so maybe it's gone a bit past it. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's powder, so maybe it would lose a bit of its pigment. I wouldn't expect it to change too much, but it does seem very similar to how I remember it feeling and applying when I first got it. So I don't think it has actually changed that much. It's a very chalky palette, and when I've heard other kind of more professional makeup-y people who do lots of eye look type videos, when they've described palettes as chalky, I've not really understood what they mean. And I feel like I do now. I feel like I've got a better understanding of what they mean. I think I've been spoilt by using a lot of Tarte palettes, and there's probably a reason why I like to pick those up again and again, because for a complete amateur like me, and yes, I'm an amateur, I am fully aware of that. I think I've even got it written in my channel description somewhere. I'm not an expert, I'm not a makeup artist, I'm just a regular person trying to put makeup on my face and making myself look a bit more human each day, basically. And I suppose my skills have improved, like anyone's would do when you start maybe trying a little bit harder, using better tools, using better products, and I find this quite hard to work with, whereas with a Tarte palette, the quality of the shadows are so easy to use that I can actually create eye looks which I am really proud of, I guess, because I'm not particularly great when it comes to makeup application. But I can pull something together that I am really pleased with. And this isn't exactly a small palette in terms of shade selection. There is a lot going on in here, but I just find that the colours aren't massively pigmented. Admittedly, that could be because of the fact that I've had this palette for quite a while, but they're not massively pigmented. They don't blend very easily either. I have really struggled to get some of these colours to blend well. And it's been a bit of a surprise, and it's made me realise and appreciate some of the palettes that I do have and the fact that they are actually really easy to use. So if you are a bit of a novice like I am when it comes to eyeshadow stuff, it's worth really swatching the shadows that you're looking to buy if you can and just see how they feel. A lot of the cheaper high street brand shadows are actually getting a lot better, and in fairness, Stila could have actually improved their formula since this palette, so I'm not going to write them off particularly, but in terms of this palette itself, I'm not sure if I'm going to be using it ever again, if I'm honest. It's been nice trying something different each day, but it doesn't have the complete shade selection that I would like. I do struggle to use it. It takes time, and it's made me run late for work on a lot of days, whereas normally I can quickly bung together an eyeshadow look quite easily and quickly. So I think I'm going to try and rehome this, unfortunately. Next up, I have this unbelievably small bottle from Aurelia Probiotic Skincare, and this is their Cell Repair Night Oil. I love a night oil. I have got a few different ones that I like to use, and I had 2 of these sample size ones from Aurelia in a couple of orders that I'd done recently, and I'd been saving them because I do have quite a comprehensive Aurelia skincare collection now, and I was saving it thinking I'm just going to do just Aurelia for a couple of weeks just to see how I get on, because it is quite an expensive brand. And then one day I just thought, I just really want to try this, even though I'm not using any of the other Aurelia products yet. So I cracked it out, and I love this night oil. It is gorgeous. It's not often that I will mention samples in Best and Worst of Beauty for obvious reasons, in terms of the fact that it doesn't really give me a huge amount of time to test something, but sometimes when you use a product and you just love it within a couple of uses, you just want to talk about it, and that's the situation that I have with this one. Aurelia is quite a pricey brand, but from time to time they do actually have amazing offers on their website, and I picked up a whole skincare bundle. I think it was for like £5 or something. They were all small sample size, but as you can see, you can usually tell when it's quite a luxe brand, because even when you're only getting a small amount, they still put it in like a proper bottle. And this one even has the proper little pipette on the top as well, which coincidentally, for me and how much I like to use, the amount that's actually in here is the perfect amount. I do tend to use facial oils every single night because I just love how they feel, and I was really loving the Emma Hardy Brilliance facial oil until I discovered this. And I wish I was a chemist or something so I could understand what the difference is in terms of what's in here that makes one do nicer things to my skin than the other one, because the Emma Hardy one is lovely, but it definitely feels much more oily, and it's not because I'm using more, it's just because there's something about the product that makes it feel a little bit different on the skin, and it definitely sits on the skin, whereas this one, and I'm using a fairly decent amount, it probably works out to about the size of a 10 pence. I don't know what that would be. Is that like the size of a dime, I guess? Ish. I think they're kind of similar size-wise. It's not a ridiculous amount, but it's a decent amount. And what I do is I massage it through my hands and then smush it all over my face, right down my neck, and it really actually sinks into the skin, which makes you think that it's actually doing more somehow rather than just kind of sitting on the surface. It's really penetrating the skin, and it feels so nice. There's just something about this face oil that feels gorgeous. And then I wake up in the morning and my skin just feels plump and luscious and gorgeous and not one little bit oily at all, which with some face oils you can still get that residue feeling in the morning, which I definitely get with the Emma Hardy one. So I don't know how much this is. It's probably quite a lot. I would imagine though it would last quite a long time because, like I said, I've got 2 of these. There's 4 ml in here and this one alone has actually lasted me quite some time. So it could be one of those, it seems expensive at first, but actually when you've made the investment, it's going to last you a really, really long time. And I only use this in the evening anyway. Plus what I've also been doing is any residue obviously left on my hands, I've been massaging into my cuticles and I've noticed a real difference in the softness of my hands as well. So, love it, lovely discovery. Not sure if I will be getting the full size when these little ones have run out, but it's really nice. Next, I have got this mascara from Deuce, I think it is. It's their Maxlash Volumizer mascara. You might have been expecting me to talk about this from my most recent Get Ready With Me, because I did enthuse about it quite a lot if I remember rightly. This is obviously not a full-size mascara. This is one that I picked up in one of my beauty advent calendars. I can't actually remember which one it was. Either the Look Fantastic or the Marks and Spencer's one. And this is actually a really nice mascara. I may seem surprised, and that's mainly because in my lifetime I feel like I've tried way more bad mascaras than good. It's not perfect, which would probably mean that I wouldn't be picking this up again. The main reason for that being is it takes such a long time to get it to where you want your lashes to look. But once you do get there, it does last all day. There's no kind of drooping or anything going on. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, which is a huge thing for me because most mascaras do smudge on me. And it's relatively easy to use. There's no like major scrubbing involved. So it does have a lot of plus points, but it's just the length of time it takes to get my lashes to where I'm happy. So largely for that reason, it's not excited me enough to make me want to go out and pick it up in the full size, but it's definitely put the brand on the map with me. I'd never heard of them before, so I'll be interested to see what else they do. But in terms of the product itself and the formula, it does seem to be a really nice formula because, like I said, it doesn't smudge on me, so that definitely gets a lot of brownie points. The brush itself is really weird, and I think this is part of the problem when it comes to taking a long time to apply. Because on one side, you've pretty much got no bristles at all. They are very short. And then on the other side, you've got pretty standard mascara bristles. I don't think there's anything particularly innovative going on there. And then on the other side, again, there's not really anything, but just looking at it now, the 2 sides that do have bristles, they kind of slightly angle inwards a little bit. I just don't get on with this brush at all. It's not the worst one I've ever encountered, but it just makes putting mascara on even more of a chore than it is already, which is a shame because the formula is lovely. So it could just be that I need to have a look at what else they do and look at some of the other brushes, because if the formula is fairly standard across the board, then it could just be a case of finding a brush that I get on with a bit better, because I don't love this one. But yeah, never heard of the brand before. I would definitely be interested in seeing what else they actually do. The last thing I have got to talk about is this lip balm from Glossier, the very trendy brand Glossier, and this is their Rose Balm dotcom lip balm, or as they're calling it, Universal Skin Salve, because it's one of these products that you can kind of smear on any dry bits, although to be fair, I just put it on my lips, and that's all I've got on my lips at the moment. And I have been loving this lip balm. As you probably know, I am a bit of a lip balm junkie, bit of a connoisseur. I do have particular types of lip balm that I like, particular types that I don't like as well. This one, the best way to describe this is it's very much of the kind of Vaseline-y family of lip balms in terms of it being very light and kind of greasy, but very moisturising as well. And this one in particular, I'm assuming it's because it's the rose one, does have quite a subtle pink sheen to it as well, which I actually really like. And it smells of roses as well. So if you're not a fan of a rose scent, then you're probably not going to like this because you do get a little bit of a taste of it as well. You get 15 ml of product in here, which I think is actually a really decent amount. It's lasted me a really long time, and I am only kind of down to there, so I've got a ton left. You don't need very much either, which is great, and the packaging is quite cute. I'm not a massive fan of a screw off lid and then basically just having to, this is what I do, pop a bit on your hand and then massage it into the lips. It does feel like a little bit of a faff, but the product itself makes it worth it. I picked this up quite a while ago when Glossier first started shipping in the UK, along with the Milky Jelly Cleanser, which you probably remember I did not like, and I also picked up one of their Cloud Puff paint things, whatever they're called, for the cheeks. Because of the fact that the product itself is the kind of lip balm where it is a little bit more of the light and kind of greasy variety, it doesn't last a really long time, so I do feel like I have to top it up quite regularly. But then I am quite a lip balm junkie, so I'd probably be doing that anyway. But I don't mind because the product itself is lovely. It feels very moisturising and comfortable. It gives you that real sheer hint of colour, which I think looks really pretty. But yeah, love this lip balm, would definitely get it again. I've heard that the coconut one is gorgeous. Basically, I just want lots of this stuff in my life. I am definitely going to be investing in some more of these. It's a lovely, lovely lip balm. And that's everything in terms of best and worst of beauty for March. As usual, let me know what you've been using and if you've made some fantastic discoveries this month, or you've been like me and trying to use stuff that you should have been using for quite some time and maybe you're a bit disappointed by it. Let me know. I always love hearing from you guys. But anyway, like I said, that is it for today. I hope you're all really well and I will see you again soon. Bye!